Tabe has just released Arc 8 Chapter 46, and this video will be a summary of the chapter. Highly recommend you check out my Arc 8 Chapter 45 summary. Anyways, let's begin. The blue pearl reflects a scene. Before the eyes of Priscilla, who is chained up in a dungeon, Spinx shows her the fierce battle occurring in the city. Spinx, who is the one behind the great disaster, shows Priscilla the scenes of Arakia, who is someone close to Priscilla. It was unknown what Spinx infused into Arakia, which turned her into this tragic state. Arakia was on the verge of bursting apart after absorbing an existence too powerful for her body, and Priscilla was watching this. Spinx expects Priscilla will be shaken. However, Priscilla states that Spinx is obsessed with her, and this is of course the truth. It is unquestionable that Spinx has an obsession with Priscilla, including the events leading up to the great disaster. Regardless, these acts which were due to obsession were despicable. Spinx says that one of the best ways to get a reaction is to take away something that belonged to you. Priscilla then asks if she is happy, and Spinx says yes, that she is elated, and before she was used to taking things for granted, but now if she had the knowledge that she had now, she wouldn't have made the same mistakes that she made during the demi-human war, and it would have went differently. Spinx looks at Priscilla's eyes. The most important thing to remember is that you're not alone. This posture of sadness drove Spinx to the great disaster. Priscilla looks at the pearl, which is showing a scene. It was a battle that could change the shape of the world. The clashing forces of the Empire itself and thunderbolts could not be pushed aside. Priscilla says, "What weak, fragile, cowardly thing, born so young, born with nothing, fighting to be nothing, would leave its mark on a mythic passage?" Spinx is of course confused by this statement. Soon, however, tremors could be heard around the city, and it surmises that it is in fact Priscilla's brother Vincent Valakia. However, it was not a very high possibility. After all, Priscilla was in a dungeon. She had no idea how many forces Spinx had at her disposal. Spinx, however, says that the man who ended her life was currently deadlocked by Arakia, and even if Vincent was being wise, he was simply not in a position to overturn a deadlocked board. Spinx assumed that nothing could go wrong. However, something struck her. A foreign object had entered the board. Spinx, however, dismisses this idea, and Priscilla laughs. Priscilla explains that it's a hunch, and Spinx says, "Intuition. You may think your heart tasted the wind. Ironic for the dead, isn't it?" Priscilla states. Spinx didn't really understand what Priscilla said. Spinx doesn't dismiss her words. Spinx, however, says that she will need to modify her plan due to this foreign entity that is now on the chessboard. With that, Spinx again changed, but Priscilla did not change her gaze, nor did she look at the ceiling. She didn't do so as she didn't want to miss the taste of the wind. By the way, I have no idea what it's referring to when it says the taste of the wind. Maybe it's like the winds of change? I don't know. The scene changes. The attacks of the countless Rowans attacked Iris. Iris, despite being surrounded in all directions, smashed him to chunks. Iris removes her arms from her dress and smashes Rowan like leaves from a tree. Another two Rowans tried to sneak behind her, but she dodged one and blocked the second attack with her finger before kicking them away. It didn't matter how many Rowans there were, this was the difference in strength. The Rowans all trained their swords at Iris. She made a mistake. Since she was trying to minimize deaths, this was of course the wrong move. The results of her actions is Rowan standing before her. Iris moves forward, destroying the Rowan corpses, using her smoking pipe and her legs to kick away at the enemies. To smash a vessel which holds human life is a hard thing to do. Even Iris has some regrets about smashing the corpses of Rowan, even if he is an enemy. This is the reason why she developed the soul marriage technique, a power that cannot be used unless you have compassion for others. This is what elevated Iris to be one of the 9 divine generals, and her soul was bound, of course, to the imperial capital. Yet killing Rowan cracks her soul, her mind being eroded by taking human life. She had lived a long life, as Sandra Benedict, who died giving birth to Prisca, and as Yona, who had a loving reunion with someone from so long ago. A moment later, blood splurts out, and the swordsman smiles. Rowan licks the blood of Iris from his cheek before he states that the tip of the heavenly sword is at stake. The scene changes. Rowan's insatiable desire to reach the heavenly sword allowed him to come to this conclusion. Usually he would have lost after being beaten by Iris. However, due to the current circumstances, by resurrecting as an undead, he was able to reach new heights not known when he was alive. Rowan reborn laughs. He understands. The sword god was cruel, making it so that the heavenly sword was a title that no one could reach whilst living, so one would have to die to reach it. However, due to his love for the heavenly sword, he was reborn as an undead. He also finally met a worthy opponent to attain the title of heavenly sword. No matter how many times he was shattered, he would be reborn time and time again. When you meet someone much stronger than you, you would grow by leaps and bounds. Such a miracle was happening with Rowan. Each time he was shattered, he learned. If Natsuki Subaru was around, he would have called this ability learning with death. 4 Rowans tag-teamed Iris, slashing her and spilling blood. Rowan thanks Iris for making him strong, before telling her to stop crying or she will ruin her face. He swings his sword, but she blocks it with her pipe. She punches one Rowan and kicks a second Rowan, but a third Rowan stabs her in the back. She punches the third Rowan again using her tail, but she spills blood. Iris is then told that she will die too, and be reborn to accompany someone. It sounded pleasant, but Iris knew it was unattainable. Looking at the past will not lead to glory, only will it lead to regret. Rowan asks for Iris's life, and swings trying to cut off her head, but the attack is blocked, not by Iris. A voice calls out, "Yona-sama!" The sword broke as it hit her body. Rowan, seeing this, is shocked. There's no way the sword could break against her thin body. "You all look the same, but get out of the way!" Emilia shouts. Immediately, a frozen flower bloomed, swallowing the Rowans. However, one Rowan jumped away. Tanza says she is happy to see Yona again as she hugs her. Tanza then turns towards Rowan and states that she will take care of Rowan, the person who hurt Yona, even though Tanza herself is unworthy of Yona. With that, the chapter ends. So quite a long chapter. This chapter actually came out yesterday, but I was busy, so I couldn't make the chapter. But hopefully we get the finale of Rowan. I'm not sure why Tanza is so tanky. Probably because of the soul marriage technique, but at least we know where Emilia is. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed. I'll see you guys next time.